Hi everyone, let's talk makeup. So today I have a demo and review of the new Kokie Professionals makeup brand that's available right now. I think it's just exclusively at Walmart and online. But I have a few of their products that I recently picked up and have been trying for about a week. So I can give you a review on these along with the demo. So I want to start with the foundation, which is I picked up the Skin Perfect HD foundation in the shade 80W, and I already have primer on my face. I'm using the Neutrogena Shine Control primer, which is actually not my favorite primer, but I'm using it for the moment. So I'm going to pump some out on my hand, and it is a liquidy foundation and it's got a pump. Usually I do need about 2 full pumps in order to apply it to my face, to my full face. So you can see it's pretty runny on here, but I'm going to be applying it. It is, this shade 80W is a bit orange, and I do have warm undertones, but my tones tend to be yellow, not orange. So the tone of the foundation has been a little bit of a I do think this is probably the best match for me, especially as I've been spending a little bit more time out in the sun. I live in California, so it's been hot lately, though oddly not today. But it has been hot lately. So that's the other thing. I have been testing this foundation out for the last week and a half, and I've been testing it in hot weather. I wore it on a road trip, and I've been wearing it on long days, on short days, and so I feel like I've given it a full test, right? So as you can see, it does spread very nicely all over the face. I mentioned that because sometimes with thicker foundations, for example, it can be a little bit harder to apply and to spread out, but this one does a really good job. So there you go. This is one coat of the HD foundation, and it is a kind of natural, almost satiny finish to it. I like it. I think it is a kind of natural, not very makeup-y finish. I do go in and put a little bit more on my cheeks, which is my problem area. This is where I have quite a bit of acne scarring, and just FYI, on the face brush that I'm using the Mua Professional BB and CC cream brush, and I have actually been enjoying using brushes with this foundation. I think a beauty blender tends to shear it out a little bit too much for my liking. I do tend to prefer full coverage foundations and matte foundations, but there's always room for a kind of natural finish, good foundation. So I do like the finish of this. I think it's a very pretty finish. I'll give you my full thoughts in a few minutes, but up next I'm going to go in with the concealer. Now I'm going to apply it on its own right now so you can see what it does to my under eye circles just on its own. But I have tried it on top of like correctors, and it does work well with that. So, but right now I'm just going in with the concealer. So again, this is the Be Bright Illuminating Concealer Corrector in the shade Deep Tan. This is a little bit dark for me usually, especially because it's a brightening corrector. I would have wanted it to be a little bit lighter, but I was just kind of guessing when I was in the store, and as I'm getting darker, I felt like this will be a good fit. So I am applying it with a tiny little beauty blender, and I like applying it with this. Ideally, I have used brushes to apply it, and I'm just liking the beauty blender right now. So there you go. That is the brightening concealer applied to my under eye. So as you can tell, it does not completely hide out my dark under eye circles. Now that's not what it's claiming to do here. This is a brightening one, so ideally I would have gotten this in a shade or two lighter than my skin tone, so that it would perform more of a brightening effect. But I think that even in this shade, I do think it has a brightening effect. Now, I always set my concealers. I just do. I feel like it helps keep them off, keep the concealer on, and make it look less cakey. Though sometimes it also does make it look cakey. But on this one, I have had no problem just setting it, and I am using the Makeup Forever high definition powder, just the white powder. I'm trying to use this little sample up, so that's what I've been using with this particular concealer. So as you can tell, my face, I think it looks pretty good. It does look like a more natural finish than the kind of foundations that I typically wear. A little bit of a satin finish, actually. It doesn't cover up all of my acne scars. I didn't expect it to. Only like hardcore thick foundations cover up all of my acne scarring. But I think this does a pretty decent job of it. So I do want to show you a few of the other products in action. The blending brush is number 627. It doesn't have a name on here, but it was specifically the blending brush. So I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Natural Love palette, which I purchased not too long ago and have been loving. P.S. If you haven't yet seen it, this is what it looks like. And I'm just going to do a simple eye today. I'm not doing too much. I'm filming another video, a haul, so keep an eye out for that. But I'm going to go into nuding this mid-tone brown here, and I am going to be applying that to the crease. So hopefully I have this camera set up at the right angle, and you can see that this is a pretty nice blending brush. I really like it for crease work. I always do something in my crease, and this does a good job of just applying nicely and blending it out. Blend, 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 blend. I'm not doing a very complicated look today, so I don't need it to do much, but I have been using this particular brush for about a month. Yeah, on and off for about a month, because I first went into Walmart and bought like several of these products. I actually did buy the face palette. That I think that's what most people are curious about, because it looks a lot like the Kat Von D contour highlight palette. But I brought it home, I opened it up, and it looked like it'd been touched by like, you know, a bajillion people. So it went right back to Walmart. So voila, I think it does a pretty decent job with the blending. So let me do the rest of my eye makeup. Okay everyone, I'm back. I have basically a full face. I did my eyebrows, my eyelashes, I've got a bit of a contour and blush, but I wanted to come back on camera and show you what the lipstick will look like on. So this is the color Blush Beige, and it's their matte lipstick formulation. And I have been wearing this quite often, and it is a really pretty color. I love it. I'm applying it without any kind of lip liner, just so that you see what it looks like just on its own. So that is what it looks like, and this is basically all the products now on my face, right? So one, I think the lipstick is fantastic. It is a comfortable matte, really gorgeous color, and they have a nice range of colors where I think most people will be able to find something that they like in the range. So the lipstick is a winner, definitely for me. Also a winner for me is this brush. It's a really nice crease brush. It gets the job done, and I love having tons of crease brushes in my collection. It's really nice one. It's not the softest brush in the world. Like, to me, the softest brushes I own are probably the Tarte brushes and the Cosmetics brushes, and it's not as soft as those, so you feel the bristles a little bit more. But it's still a nice brush that I've been enjoying and I've been using. It'll stay in my collection. Now, in terms of the brightening concealer, I think if I'd gotten in a lighter shade, it would perform the brightening effect more. But even in this darker shade that's much closer to my skin tone. It does do some brightening. It doesn't fully conceal dark under eye circles, which is a big deal for me. So I think my preferred method of using this is with a corrector underneath. It does play well with the correctors that I own. But finally, the foundation. So the Perfect Skin Perfect HD foundation. This foundation, I think, has a really nice look to it, especially when after you apply it. It doesn't fully cover up my acne scars, but that's perfectly fine. I didn't need it to. It doesn't claim to. In terms of wear, it does wear for about 6 hours on my skin before it begins to break down. Now, I need to asterisk that comment by saying that I have super oily skin, like super oily skin. So the fact that it holds up for 6 hours with my super oily skin is just really good. Now, there are days in which I needed to hold on for longer than 6 hours, and on those days I would not pick up this foundation. I just wouldn't. I would rather pick up any of my other full coverage foundations. I have plenty of drugstore and mid-range foundations that will basically hold on for 12 plus hours, and I do have days that are 12 plus hours, right? So those are not the days in which I will be wearing this one. But on other days, I think this is a really good one. Like yesterday, for example, I wore this and I put it on about midday, and it held on really well for the rest of the day. And at the end of the day, though, I started to feel, well, the oily skin people out there will know what I'm talking about. That feeling of like grease face. Like you just feel like you've got pizza face and you want to start scratching at your face. I did start feeling that towards the end of the day, and that's how it feels when the oils in your face begin breaking down foundation, right? So it did that, but usually if I apply powder on top of it, so this with my full face, I don't have any powder on. So what I'll usually do to make it last a little bit longer is I will put some powder on my face. And lately I've been using the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous face powder. And this has done a really good job. This is a matte full coverage powder. So this has done a good job of, one, helping the foundation wear longer, and two, like when I start feeling the oils peeking through my face, I will put this on and it'll give me a good 3 additional hours, which my face feels normal, it feels matte, and I don't feel the oils coming through, right? So it does need some setting, but again, so this is actually a good foundation, I think, and especially if you have normal or even dry skin, I think this will be a good match. Now, if any of you have already tried it and have had a different experience with it, feel free to let us know down below. Just from having tried it for a week and a half now, I think most people will like this foundation. Oily girls, though, you know you gotta set it, and you know you have to touch it up throughout the day. So I don't recommend it for like super long days, or if that's what you need your foundation for, super long coverage, matte, then this is not for you. But for lighter days, I feel like this is going to be a good foundation, and a lot of people are going to like it. So that is it for my review. Let me know your thoughts on the foundation down below, and I will see you in the next one.